rumor has it that Boogie has blood cancer, which, if this happens to be true, that fucking sucks. And if it does later come out that he actually does have cancer, I mean, no one here is basically going to be saying yay or anything, but do we really, like, trust, do we really take Boogie 2988 at his word? He's lied about plenty of things in the past. And since his viewership is down and his, like, he's losing subscribers and all this, how do we not know this is some, like, publicity stunt? We've seen this before with, like, every other YouTuber. The Pauls, for example, Suicide Forest, which I think is came out that was faked because, in all reality, you have a foreign national that was near the death of a Japanese national. Like, he would have his ass thrown in prison. Like, why wasn't there any legal issues there? Of course, because it's all bullshit. And usually, if a YouTuber is saying something or talking about something, or especially if it's on this level where blood cancer, right? You can probably more than likely chalk it up to bullshit. What it more than likely is Boogie's got bad case of the Whopper Blood, which in all reality, like, everyone pays the Pied Piper at some point. Meaning, if you have a shit eating habit, and you've had this shit eating habit for decades, you've had your stomach stapled, but you've literally, like, undone all the progress there because you eat so much. More than likely, it's going to have adverse side effects. Chantel even had to have a hysterectomy. Foodie Booty had to have a hysterectomy. And there was another, I think even Amberlyn Reed had to, like, have some kind of stuff done. But as a result of your shitty eating habits, you have nothing to blame but yourself. It's like the same thing with, like, a crackhead, meth addict, alcoholic. The only person there is to blame is themselves. Boogie has only himself to blame. This isn't a woe is me, cancer came out of nowhere. This isn't like the obscure case of, we've heard this story before, right? Where the person's been healthy their entire lives, and then for whatever reason they're hit with pancreatic cancer. It's just like snake eye genetics. And that happens. And this isn't that case. This is a person who's been abusing their body for decades. And no one should really. Yeah, it's terrible it's happening to, like, a person, but he's had so many decades to correct the record. Same thing with, like, Foodie Booty and Amberlyn Reed. At some point, their body, is going to cash a check or they won't be able to cash a check for money they don't have. The metaphor I'm going for, or was trying to go for, was you're writing a check your body can't cash. There we go. Yeah. If that metaphor makes sense. Or, I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out my ass, but I don't trust Boogie. And while, though, lying about cancer is pretty low, I don't really trust him either, because he's lied in the past. And rumor has it that this is. Now, this next bit is conjecture, probably horseshit, but it is interesting theory nonetheless. Result of, like, testosterone, like, supplements, because he'd be taking them because the trunk of his tree isn't sturdy enough, if you get my drift. And of course, obesity leads to erectile dysfunction and other, like, health problems. I'm no doctor, but obesity causes a myriad of issues. And of course, if you look at me, I've got that Whopper blood too. I like to eat out too much, eat too much junk food and all this shit. So I'm not coming down from, like, a holier than thou angle. I'm just saying, Boogie has nothing or no one else to blame but himself. And of course, he's going to cash in on it, because when you're a YouTuber, when you have no skills, when you're a neat, garbage tier individual, of course, you're going to have to come up with bullshit to try and keep your head above water, because the alternative is work. And a lot of these YouTubers and even other personalities on this website, they don't want to work for a living because apparently they're too weak, too lazy, or that idea of having to work is just too much stress inducing and anxiety bringing. But that's the glory of just being an average Joe, isn't it? We can all work, we can all have, make our own living, and we don't have to constantly bullshit for a paycheck or to justify our existence on a disappearing platform and video site. So, not buying it one bit. Sorry.